What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be breaking down and explaining the end credit scene of Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I'm sorry I did not post this video earlier, but I had to do school and priorities. But I am here to explain and break down basically the ending of Doctor Strange and who this person is and how does Strange get this third eye. Now, without further ado, before we get started with this video, I'd appreciate it if you left this video with a like and a subscribe and a share and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to get out the way in this video is how does Strange get this third eye? Now, in Multiverse of Madness, we see Sinister Strange have this same third eye, but what is the reason behind it? Now, Sinister Strange was the defender or the protector or the guardian of this universe's Darkhold. And then him and Strange had a battle which was absolutely spectacular. I love that scene in the movie. But anyways, how did he get this third eye? And how did he even go from Sinister Strange to our Strange from Earth 616? Now, the Sinister Strange was the guardian of the Darkhold, and we get to see these damned souls later on, like towards the end of Multiverse of Madness, and they do come from the Darkhold, and that is how Sinister Strange has this third eye. And we also see our Strange from Earth 616 meddle with the Sinister Strange Darkhold, and he eventually actually contained and basically controlled and formed these damned souls into his new cloak so he can transport from one mountain to another to stop Scarlet Witch from hurting America Chavez or Wong. So, since he meddled with the Darkhold, this is basically how he got this third eye. But in the comic, this third eye serves to Strange as the Eye of Agamotto. You know, the Eye of Agamotto that we see in the MCU was just an amulet that holds the time stone. Yeah, that's not what the Eye of Agamotto was in the comics. The Eye of Agamotto was an actual eye that Strange later obtained on his forehead. And this eye helps Strange see the truth of people and just lets him see the truth. This is probably why he trusted Clea, who we later on see in the post-credit scene, so easily, so they can go and travel to what looks like the Dark Dimension. Speaking of Clea, like I said, we get to see her in the post-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness. Now, a lot of people don't know who this person is, so I am here to tell you guys all about her and who she is and what part will she play in the MCU. And I'm also going to be talking about some incursions that might lead to a future film that's going to be amazing in the MCU. Now, here are some facts that you probably might have not known about Clea. By the way, I get all of these facts from the Screen Rant website, so you should go check them out. In the comics, Clea was the niece of Dormammu. You know, Dormammu, the person that we saw in the first Doctor Strange, you know, that big, giant, floating head. Yeah, she's the niece of him. Clea ranks as one of the most powerful magic beings in the Marvel Universe. Part of her power in the mystical arts stems from the fact that she's the niece of Dormammu. Dormammu, ruler of the Dark Dimension, and succeeded her father, Prince Orani. Umar, her mother and sister of Dormammu, hails the Faltanian race. The Faltanians exist as pure magic and come from a different universe than the Dark Dimension. Clea's magic legacy grants her enormous power and potential she eventually realizes in the comics. So yeah, Clea, bottom line, is a really, really, really powerful magic user. And hopefully we get to see this powerful side of her in the MCU. Now, as Clea was the niece of Dormammu in the comic, she also once was one of his prisoners. Dormammu ranks among Doctor Strange's most powerful villains, and he proved he might when he imprisoned Clea. She served him as all beings of the Dark Dimension did, but she also questioned his actions and motives. She tried to dissuade Doctor Strange from confronting Dormammu over his planned invasion of Earth. He imprisoned Clea for acting against him. He eventually released her after Dormammu and Strange worked together to defeat an even greater threat. So apparently in the comics, Doctor Strange and Dormammu team up. I would love to see this in live action MCU. Now, as we saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, America Chavez hopped from universe to universe, from dimension to dimension. Clea herself is actually a dimension hopper. Clea arrives in the MCU with the clear ability to move between dimensions. That ability to hop dimensions comes right out of the comics. In Strange Tales 151, Clea tumbled through the multiverse, very much like Sorcerer Supreme Strange and America Chavez does in Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. Now, in the MCU, Dormammu is the ruler of the Dark Dimension. He is in the comics, but Clea later takes over this mantle. Another likely fate for Clea in the MCU emerges from the comics. The war for control of the Dark Dimension played out for several years in the comics, with Clea ultimately taking her place as ruler in Doctor Strange comic number 73. Now, I'm definitely going to read that comic. She confronted her mother, Umar, in an epic battle to decide the Dark Dimension's fate once and for all. Umar remains one of the best Doctor Strange comic characters not in the MCU, and is likely to appear now that Clea has made her debut. Now, as Strange is a big part of Clea's life, because in the comics, her and Strange get married. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be Strange's new love interest after their whole breakup with Christine. MCU fans know Doctor Strange loves Christine, but comic book fans know the true love in his life is Clea. The challenges of each being the Sorcerer Supreme of their respective realms kept them apart, but the two wed nevertheless. Clea's status as a being from the Dark Dimension prevented a legal marriage on Earth, but they wed via a magical document that bound them together forever. Their powerful bond likely leads to them becoming one of the best MCU couples, right behind Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. Now, as I just said that Clea was the Sorcerer Supreme in the Dark Dimension, sadly, she was the Sorcerer Supreme in Earth 616 dimension. And this is because in the comics, Strange dies and she takes over the mantle as Sorcerer Supreme. That's why I said unfortunately, because it's unfortunate that Strange dies. So may he rest in peace. But anyways, Clea's journey from student to master came full circle in 2022 when she became the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth 616. With the death of Stephen Strange, she assumes the mantle she trained for with power and experience few can match. Her earliest battles as the new Sorcerer Supreme, including defeating Doctor Doom with little effort. Now this says a lot because Doctor Doom is a very powerful villain and Clea destroyed him with little effort. She also took the same last name of Strange in honor of her fallen lover. Clea attempted to bring back Strange via a complex spell, but failed. Instead, she brought back Thunderstrike, a version of Thor from the comics who may play a big role in the MCU. Now, I know this is very out of order, but I just said, if you caught it, Clea was once the student of Doctor Strange. Clea eventually settles on Earth, though she loses her powers after being cut from the Dark Dimension. She then trains in the mystic arts as a student of Doctor Strange. Their relationship also finally tips over into full romance. Clea begins her training in Marvel Premiere number 12 and continued for some time. She and Strange work together as a close team fighting major threats from the mystical realm, including Baron Carl Mordo. Did you catch that? Baron Carl Mordo? Now in the comics, his middle name is spelled with a K, not a C. But Baron Carl Mordo is what this dimension Mordo from Earth's 838 name is. As he states, his name is Baron Carl Mordo. So we're definitely going to see, or maybe we might see Earth Dimension 838 Mordo later on in the MCU. Now, those are all the facts I have for you guys about Clea, and I'm going to explore more about Clea in Marvel Comics, but now let's talk about Clea's biography. Princess Clea, until recently the Faltanian ruler of the Dark Dimension, has experienced numerous trials and tribulations during her lifetime. The daughter of Prince Ornery and Umar, influential figures in the Dark Dimension, Clea became involved in much of political turmoil that inflicted that pocket dimension. Doctor Strange first met Clea during one of the most first forays to her homeland, and he was to have a significant influence on her life. Together they fought against the demon Dormammu, and during these battles they fell in love. Inevitably, these struggles were not without their dangers. And for a time, Clea became trapped in a separate pocket universe with Dormammu. After her rescue by Strange, Clea spent several years in New York City, where she became his disciple and also his lover. When she returned to her home, she led a revolution against her mother, who became ruler. After she took her mother's place, she married Strange, but Dormammu later usurped her throne. She left Earth to lead the resistance against him. She hid in Valhalla for a time and subsequently returned to Earth with the Fearless Defenders. Now that is all I have for you guys about Clea, and if you enjoyed this information, I would enjoy if you left this video with a like, subscribe, and a share, and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. Now, this is where I say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and I wish you guys to be safe. I wish you guys have the best day or the best night or something, and stay safe, get outside, get some fresh air, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.